Hey, what's going on, guys? Full here from Custom Offsets,
Custom
Industries
TV
on the YouTube.
You guys are going to want to take a look at this newest video. Okay, I will do one intro, and then you do an intro.
But if you,
and then
as soon as I start, this is going well.
Wow.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Full here from Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube, and since this is on Fitment Industries, I guess.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? It's Alex from Fitment Industries, and we have partnered with Custom Offsets to bring out the hottest debated subject that you never thought you'd hear us talk about,
Right.
Which is what?
Well, is an SUV a car or a truck? That is what is up for debate, because there are so many people out there that it's like, all right, so I have a lowered SRT8 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Do I shop on Custom Offsets or do I shop on Fitment Industries? Where do I get my wheels from?
And like, where do you who do you associate with?
No
if you have that, do you
clue.
Yeah, do you associate with truck people, or do you associate with car people?
There's such a weird debate, and it could go either way. And so I think what we wanted to do here, we literally have no idea what we're doing. We sat down to make this video, and Alex was going to ask me how we were going to talk about it, and I said, stop talking. We'll figure it out on camera.
We don't know.
So what I've done is I went to the gallery, and I pulled out vehicles from Fitment Industries gallery, as well as vehicles from Custom Offsets gallery, obviously all SUVs. So we can kind of debate what is a SUV and what market do they associate with. Because there's some people that are going to get technical and say, well, an SUV has a frame, so like your Ford Excursion and things that come on like an F-250 chassis, basically, because they are solid frame vehicles where you have crossover vehicles that it's unibody and it's like a car. But there are SUVs nowadays that are unibody because all the manufacturers have realized that, I don't know if it's cheaper for them or if it's just easier produced, but it seems like everybody's going to a unibody construction.
Yeah, that's true. I think you've seen a lot of that, especially in like the newer cars and stuff too, with so many people paying attention to gas mileage and weight and things like that. So it'd be interesting to see. All I know is that everything looks better when it's like tucked and lowered. And not raised on some.
So this is going to be so interesting because the same video is going to be on Fitment Industries and Custom Offsets. So you're going to have people that are like, what? No! And then we're going to have people that are saying the exact same thing, but towards the opposite direction. So I want to start with Gmc Yukon. Now these are both 2018 and 2017. I'll pull them both up and we'll take a look at them. So the first one that's loading up, now this guy, is this a car guy? So it's a 2018 Gmc Yukon. He's on 24x10 plus
100%.
And Toyo proxies.
Yeah, I won't even doubt it. Not a doubt in my mind. And here's why. Because you can tell that this man bought this because he just wanted a comfortable ride and to also show the world, I have some money, right? And then you got the 20x10 plus 20s, which means he's still going with a car-ish style offset besides obviously the actual diameter of the wheel.
Right, the size itself.
But then he even went with proxies.
Which is a good street tire for cars.
I mean, it's not really a truck tire. It's not a Nitto Ridge Grappler, if you will. So that's the way that I see it. And it looks, pretty moderate. It looks like it's stock suspension. Doesn't look like anything crazy. It looks like he threw some wheels and tires on it, called it good.
But like, I love the look of this, which I'm sure people are probably going to be upset. And I think I would have to agree that this guy probably more closely associates to a car company. But you can buy these wheels on Custom Offsets too. So you like, you have both.
Too. 35 sidewall tire.
Yeah, not a lot of sidewall for a vehicle. Now, I'll pull up this one. This is 2017, but it's the same body style, so you get the same concept.
Industries, don't freak out. But there are people in this world that instead of bringing the car down, they actually bring it up. And we're gonna find out why. We are gonna find out. There is a reason. Holy moly.
Right, so now you look at this one and you're like, okay, it's the same thing, but this one's lifted 6 inches in the air and he's running 22x12 negative 44s. So last one was positive offset, positive 20.
This is a negative 44.
So this is sticking out significantly further. I mean, you can look at the head-on shot.
Specialty forged wheels.
Which, I don't know if car guys will know, but that's a very expensive, forged
truck wheel. That's an expensive set of wheels right there.
So like now this guy, this is a truck guy.
100%.
But you could also make the argument that, does this actually go off-road, and does that make it more close to a car?
That's a tough question, because is a Yukon really meant for anything other than looks?
No, I would say no.
and that's why I think they associate more with like the car side of things than the truck side of things. Like, not saying that truck guys don't like looks.
I still love this. It's still very clean looking. It's totally different than the last thing we saw, but I would drive either one of them. If I could have both, I would have both. So another really good example is the Grand Cherokee.
100%.
Like, this
Jeeps,
is probably...
A lot of Jeeps are kind of like that too. Now this one, obviously, I think more people would classify for truck stuff.
As a truck. But you can't call a Jeep
a truck.
You can't call a Wrangler a truck because people will get upset.
Yeah, everybody gets a little... It's a very technical market, the Jeep folk, in terms of what's what and for who and
that's a full frame vehicle. it has straight axles, so that leans towards truck side. Then you get into things like the Grand Cherokee, and we pull up this very car version of the Grand Cherokee. 22 by 10 and a half plus 35. So a very flush fitment, ultra high performance summer tire, not much sidewall, looks super fast, looks very mean, would love to drive.
Look at those brakes.
Yeah, big old Brembos on there.
I'm pretty sure, I think what happened with Jeep is they're just like, we have a lot of money, what can we do?
Yeah,
because
the
Dodge
whole
seemed to do
Fiat
pretty well.
organization was
And they're like, let's just put a big motor in everything that we possibly can. And then they did. And then it attracted everybody that liked to go fast.
Yep.
Which I think pulls in more core people, but the Jeep
But you still have utility.
Yeah, but you still get the utility. So then what happens is an individual may have a little bit more cash on his pocket is saying, you know, I could swing this as a utility vehicle and still have 700 horsepower. It would be like a win-win scenario.
And that same guy, if they're not gonna lower it, now they do this. Right. So now you're lifted. You have a 3-inch suspension lift. You have some off-road. These are technically hybrid tires, but good off-road, good on-road kind of combination
Small lift,
of the two.
3-inch lift, which is pretty cool.
You got a big rack on top. You got some LED lighting. Now this isn't, you know, the 700 horsepower variant, but you could still do it with the same thing.
Here's what I enjoy about this though, a little bit more than the first one that we saw. And I know like car guys are gonna get mad at me for saying this, but I like this look almost like just as much, if not more. Because when I look at it, if I would use this in my like day-to-day life, I'd use the hell out of that.
Yeah.
But I look at the other one, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to drive it. I just got to be careful with it. You don't want anything to happen. The brakes are going to be insanely expensive. Like it's a vehicle that has one purpose, and that's to go fast and be expensive. I mean, that's 2 reasons, but you get the point. Whereas this is like, hey, utility, you can use it. It's got some nice, like it still has a little bit of poke. It's got a small lift, but it's still like nice.
Right, you get the extra ground clearance that you're looking for. Clearly it looks like he uses this vehicle. I don't know if he's got some sort of awning or rooftop tent on there, but you know, the outdoors, hunting, fishing, camping guy that doesn't want to go to a truck, because a lot of times the reason why people choose SUVs over trucks is simply because they can store their cargo in here and not worry about it getting wet. Now, obviously you can put a cap on the back of your pickup too, but it's easier to just get an SUV.
And I know that people enjoy the driving experience of SUVs a little bit more than they do of trucks. When you compare them to like if you're going
because they
off-road.
drive more similar to a car.
And they're easier to handle. They're easier to kind of get the feedback of like driving the actual thing off-road, or if you're using it as a utility vehicle. People just seem to have more versatility with the utility vehicle than a truck.
Exactly.
Which is funny.
And that kind of brings me to the next one, is why like the Toyotas are so popular as an overlanding vehicle. So here's another great example of this is more of a truck setup. Now, I don't think I have ever seen a Toyota 4Runner that I would be like, that's more of a car guy.
I don't think I have either, to be honest.
It's just
usually
one of
they
those
just
things.
chop off, you know, they put the old brush guard on the front, they make it look like a pre-runner, and they just like...
And they just send it.
Yeah.
So does it matter, does it really depend on what vehicle it is? Because the Yukon, I think we both agreed, that could be a car or a truck.
Yeah.
If you look at the Wrangler, well, that's probably a truck. And then like looking at a 4Runner, that more aligns with a truck.
Yeah, I would say that it, like with the Cherokees and the stuff that I think has a little bit more of like a flashiness to it, it appeals to that sort of look at me sort of personality.
Because it has so many luxury features.
That
like
I
even on
think
the
that it attracts the car guys a little bit more, whereas 4Runners and stuff like that, they naturally have a utility look to them that people just would rather put the lift kits, rather put the higher end stuff on that and say, let's just take this bad boy off-road instead of buying something that's an $80,000 go-fast car.
Right,
That's
yeah, when you look at the costs, like, okay, so you buy that $80,000 Jeep, do you want to take that off-road?
No.
I don't think I do.
Nobody would.
I mean, I want to, but I
Well,
can't
everybody
live
wants
with
to.
myself.
It's like watching Tax the Rich videos when they're drifting like F40s and F50s like through airports. Like everybody wants to do that, but nobody's going to do that besides the one maniac that has way too much money. I mean, it's kind of a unique situation. Maybe if we were dreaming, I mean, I would happily do that. Just like send it.
This is the last vehicle that I want to showcase, and this is I wanted to bring this one up particularly because car guys are going to be like, "What the did you do?" And truck guys are going to be like, "Oh yeah, brother, sign me up for that."
That's awesome.
This is actually a personal friend of ours. This is Josh Beecham. He's been at SEMA multiple times. This is 30 by 16s American Forces on
How
here.
expensive are those tires?
The tires?
Yeah, 30 by 16s. That
The
can't be
wheels.
a cheap. I mean, the tires are, I mean, the wheels are expensive. We know the wheels are expensive, but people, here's the thing, like when we look at expensive car tires, we're looking $2,200, $2,300.
Oh, you can pay that for just one.
That's expensive for
Just
car guys.
Just one,
and
not for the set. So like you could
that's rough.
easily pay like over $4,000 for a set of tires, and then these wheels are like, you know, upwards of $10,000 depending on what you choose for options and whatnot. But
should have gotten the truck game first.
they get expensive. They get super expensive. And then this one too, like I was saying, Ford Excursion. So this comes on an F-250 pickup truck chassis.
It's a 12-inch lift.
Right. I think it's actually bigger. I don't know what he put in here.
Lifted greater than 12.
Yeah, it's a 24-inch lift, custom 4-link setup.
How do you
All
just
custom
dive
fabrication.
in? Do you just jump?
Yep. Grab your Sawzall, start cutting. That's kind of how it goes.
Oh my God.
So, does this video answer any questions?
No, absolutely
not really, but we kind of left that up to you because we can't be the ones to answer, is an SUV a car or a truck? Because an SUV is an SUV. That's why they made its own class of vehicle. That's why there's a sport utility vehicle segment in the market. And now the CUV, which is the crossovers, which people actually do make lift kits for also. Like
but you have to look at, there's so many other vehicles out there too, like the Audi Q5. Just like the Audi, that platform you see all over the car scene. Yet when you really classify it between the two, is it a car? Is it not a car? Is it a truck? Is it an SUV?
It's an SUV.
What do you prefer? And that's actually where we wanted like your guys' feedback, because like we want to show you guys cool stuff, but we don't want to show you that you don't like.
Right.
And that's the dilemma that we're having. And
so on Custom Offsets, you can shop for both trucks and SUVs, even lowered SUVs. And on Fitment Industries, I think you guys have gotten away from some of that SUV market, but you do see questions all the time on your Facebook and on your Instagram where people are asking.
Every single day from people that own like Cherokees and stuff like that. They want like
what's the
lowered
fitment for my Cherokee?
So if you guys don't want to see that, let us know. But if you do want to see it and you want to see cool, fast SUVs and stuff like that, without getting away from what makes our car stuff, I mean, let us know.
We got both.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
So if you want to go to his website, it's www.fitmentindustries.com.
If you want to go to his website, you can go to customoffsets.com.
And it's not mine or his, but we at least like to pretend that it's ours, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sort of.
I mean,
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So, well, we hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to drop a comment below and subscribe to both channels if you manage to finagle your way on either side. And we will see you later.
Yep.
Anything?
That's it.
Peace.